Hi, everybody. This is Jason.
This is Pete.
And this is the Lost Legions podcast. And what are we doing today, Pete, besides having technical difficulties?
Oh, aren't they fun? We are here to talk about our top 5 favorite troops choices. Now, you might be thinking, but there's only 4 in the book. Wow. Well, so specific kit builds, Legion-specific ones. Basically, if it fits into a troop slot, it's up for debate. And yeah, we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite.
And the Legacies PDF and inductees. So, like, we've included anything, basically, had Pete said, that is a troop's choice. So we've basically included that. So yeah, and like Pete said, specific builds. And I'm very curious because I've seen Pete's list and I want to know why some specific builds have been chosen. So why don't we get into it, Pete?
We will do, Jay, but we're going to have to start this again, I'm afraid, because I haven't got the PDF ready. I'm just here chatting away. But please hold. All right, we are back after even more technical difficulties straight away. 2 minutes in, that's always a good shout. Or 1 minute in, whatever this is. Turns out I didn't have the PDF loaded. So here we go. We are ready to rock and roll. Top 5 Legion troops. Yeah, that's a good point. This is Legion only. We always get like one comment in 100, or maybe even more, of like, can you do Mechanicum? Can you do Solar Orcs? We will do eventually. The truth is, we're getting around a bit, and the time and everything else, so long with it.
I've seen the Mechanicum guy, and I'm like, bro, I want to help you out, but I don't even know about that. What we probably do, I suggest, Pete, is eventually we will get a guest star on to help us with some of these things. That is more.
Yeah, because otherwise we barely know the Legion stuff, let alone the other stuff. Anyway, moving on. Right, so top 5 Legion troops. So the first one is mine.
Woohoo!
Ooh. Yes, the Despoiler squad with interdiction cadre prime benefit.
Yes, and this is really, really good.
Yeah, it is really, really good. So these guys are pretty cool. I've used them a number of times. There is definitely a way to do this. So for those that don't know, the interdiction cadre prime benefit, which is available on the, I think it's called the Drop Site Massacre Journal Tactica book thing, whatever it's called. The first one that came out.
The first one,
yeah, the first book. At the very back, there's an additional prime benefit. And we've spoken about this a couple times, I think, on the pod. But just to clarify, this makes your Despoilers basically whack-a-mole surprise got you, guys. Any troop or any tactical or Despoiler unit can take this. And what it does is it counts as a reaction. They get placed in reserves at the beginning of the game. And as a reaction, they can deploy to an enemy movement unit within... enemy movement action, within... 5 inches of that unit. Now, there are some deployment shenanigans. I'm not going to go through more here. It's quite picky how you can place them. But if you do place them, you can then either make a snapshot at them in your opponent's movement phase, or you can charge them in your opponent's movement phase. And
basically, you need to roll a 5.
You need to roll a 5 on your 2. So you get your 2d6 charge distance. You don't get any setup move. And you have to be... You can be no closer than 5 inches to the reacting unit. So basically, you got just over a 50% chance of scoring a 5 or higher on one of 2 dice. So it's a pretty good coin toss on whether or not you get to hold something up. And this can be super useful in a number of ways. Turn 1, if you're going second, to stop someone from maybe scoring an objective at the end of their turn 1. That's a really good way of trying to stop this from happening. They can be used to block a path for something else, potentially. But in more recent times, recent games rather, I've been using them to spring up late game, because having like 10 Despoilers pop up near an objective turn 3 or something could be super, super useful, because there's not a lot to shoot them anymore. Go ahead.
I also want to point out, like, you don't necessarily need to charge. Like, when I was playing Will, he had them pop up just to help block a path and then be there later to attack something else. And I think you've done it as well. So like it's valid to just get them on the table sometimes to use the reaction.
Yeah.
If you necessarily don't want to charge. Like sometimes what you're going to charge is just going to kill you anyway, but you could get them on the table, make your opponent cause choices. And like I think that it makes them really flexible, and because they can pop up kind of anywhere, they're really cool. like I really like this squad with the prime benefit. I think spoilers are pretty cool anyway, but this is one of the top uses for them, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think you can do it on tacticals as well, but I think having I mean, you can still charge with tacticals, of course, but if you're charging in, you definitely want to make sure that you're at least hanging around in that combat to stop that unit from scoring. The first game I ever played with these, it was the mission with the central objective that's worth 3 victory points, and the opponent was going first, so they drive their Rhino up, dump their tacticals onto the middle objective, so they're getting line 2 plus the objective of 3, so scoring 5 points straight off the bat. To have a coin toss opportunity to negate your opponent those 5 points is like very, very useful, right? So that's what they did. They didn't kill them, but they stopped them from scoring that objective that turn.
I almost think that 10 is fine, 20 is too many. Yeah. Your mileage may vary on this, but like I've seen them more effectively used as a 10-man squad. Again, because you can pick your fights as opposed to a 20-man squad where you have more points in reserve. And that's, I think, the problem is, with the 20-man squad, you have a large point in reserve and they still don't hit that hard. No. Like you're still going to throw them against attack squads. You're going to beat the attack squad with 10 of them, or you're really going to beat them with 20.
Yeah.
So, I kind of feel that 10 is fine. It's just, but all together, it's a great, great option. I completely agree with you here, Pete.
Yeah, I think they're cool. There's obviously certain legions that they'll work better for, obviously, than others. But they're very, very, very cool. Moving on. Oh, there we go. So Jay's number 5.
So the Space Wolf inductee, and these guys really, really stand out to me because out of all the inductee, because they can run and charge. They do have Vanguard and not line, so you are in the Vanguard sort of bucket with these guys. So I wouldn't put your whole army with these, but a squad of these guys is really gonna like throw a monkey in the works of your opponent's plan, because they can run and charge now, which they used to be able to do last edition, but now this is the only squad that can do it. They do become stunned if they fail the charge. However, you're gonna have a good idea of whether or not you're gonna make it. But them being able to pelt down the board and run and charge, plus they're extremely cheap. They're 9 points per model. I think that's just a really, really good, push your opponent unit that is cheap, and it's really going to make them, think about it, which, because they're just going to be worried about the squad that's just running down at them, which you're not going to care as much about because they're super cheap. So altogether, I think this is an excellent squad. I am enamored with the Space Wolf troop choices.
Yeah, they are very cool. Very, very cool. Being able to run and charge out of most vehicles as well all vehicles now is awesome, right? I think they're very, very good.
Because you can just slingshot them. They just get so much extra room.
You drive 12 with a Rhino, pop them out 7, run them their initiative 4, and then still charge 2d6.
Yeah.
You don't get 7, but
they're Space Wolves. So and the other thing is, normally if they're just charging normally, they also get the additional setup move. So if they come out of a land raider or something, then they've got that as well. So it's they're very good. Or even just running down the field. They'll get the additional setup move.
I want to see you do a list of these, Jay, with 3 or 4 of these, 3 or 4 units of these running up the field, and then 2 units of regular despoilers with interdiction cadres. So as you run up and your opponent moves, then these other ones spring up out the ground. It's like
I keep playing Space Wolves, which is so funny, while I'm working on my other 3.0 armies, and I keep liking them more and more and more, and I keep going oh god, am I going to pull all the arms and everything off these guys? But really, really cool. I'm really enjoying the Space Wolves this edition. I think that they are a very fun melee army.
Moving on. All right. So my next choice is a 20-man Death Guard Inducto squad.
I have
specifically.
I have questions. No, specifically. I have questions. Yeah, why it's so specific? Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, announce your box of Chaplain and Apothecary. You can't move this unit. You just can't move it. You have to destroy it.
But okay, so what do Death Guard inductee do? I didn't actually look. I was curious because I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah, they never take routed checks for losing 25% or more casualties.
Okay.
All right. And then the chaplain
but then,
obviously has a cool of 10. So if they have to take a panic check or whatever, a cool check, then it's probably fine.
So, but I'm asking. So 20 man without chaplain, trash. Is that what you're saying?
It's not trash, but you get to also
but not top 10. Like, this is why I was so curious because it seems so specific.
Okay, the chaplain and apothecary means that you're like recovering. You can only fail a recovery test for a cool check on a 12 on a double 6.
Okay,
because you get the -2. So the chaplain and apothecary work nicely together. The reason why with the Death Guard is because they're not taking that 25% check anyway. So to actually get these guys to shift and not score an objective is really, really hard. And that's why you'd go with 20 of them. In my opinion, you don't have 20 of them and go, all right, you just have to move. I mean, it's all the points. It's fine. I can see this at 350 points of attack.
I saw this and I was like, 20-man Death Guard inductee with a chaplain and apothecary. I was like, why is this so specific? Like, otherwise, garbage.
Yeah,
10 of them, garbage.
And you get to move your initiative value and counter stationary, don't you? So you can move in fury with these guys as well because they're Death Guard. So
okay. So you rate the Death Guard inductee, and this is how you would make them uber. Is what you're saying.
You have to throw. You have to throw a lot at them to make them not be able to score. So this is a really good deck chair unit, in my opinion. Okay. It's a very expensive deck chair unit, though.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if I agree with you about this, by the way, but I see your logic. I don't think you're crazy. I think I'd have to get my supernumerary, my calculator out and sit down and like, or just play a game against them and then be like, those guys are trash.
You can just do 3 10-man attack squads for less points and be like, all right, I've got 3 units, move 3 units instead. Yeah, I think it could be fun. All
right.
Hey, this is top 5 favorite, right? Not top 5 best. Maybe. And worth us saying, we always try.
I guess it is now.
We always try and say, if you know who's painted these minis, give them a shout out.
Yes, please. We'll put it in the comments.
Them off the internet. So do shut them out. All right, so Jay's dubious about my choice. So moving on.
So I picked this Salamander's Adherents squad. I've tried to actually pick an Adherents picture this time. I think they're really, really cool. They get combi flamers that ignore limited 1 versus in volley attacks, and I think that this is really good. Again, you're in the Vanguard side of things, so this is offensive. But again, like, I think that these guys piling out of a Rhino is going to be a real nightmare for your opponents because they're all going to be able to like put panic on people. Like this is, and they're just be able to pile just
tons
10
of flamers as well. Isn't it?
That's what I was going to say. 10 flamers in volley fire is just going to be so many wounds to pile on, let's say, attack squad.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And from what I can tell from reading it, they can use their combi flamers and then keep using them when they volley fire. So I think they still get to use them once because it just says they ignore the limited 1.
So they always have the flamer for volley fire, and then they can use the combi flamer regular once. It doesn't matter. It's not. It's not expect. Yeah. Okay. Weird.
I'm pretty sure. Like, correct me if you guys think it's wrong. Like, let me know in the comments. But like, I'm pretty sure from the way it's written, you can do that. So you can pretty much basically always use it during volley fire. So I think these guys can just put out so many template attacks. They're just going to be mowing down troop squads, right? Like, I think this is where they shine against. But I think again, it's another unit where it's going to put so much pressure on your opponent, and they're not that expensive. Well, I mean, they're 15 points a model, but like it is and then they start at 85 points for 5 of them. So, I mean, it's not that expensive. They're not like a crazy, excuse me, guys. crazy like elite unit,
No.
but I think they're really good. I think they're a very good troops choice. I think you get a little punch in your troops choice with these guys. Yeah, I think
I quite
that's
rifle bearing Vanguard guys, non-choppy Vanguard units, kind of for troops, kind of fun.
super interesting.
Yeah. All right.
Over to you.
So the 10-man, 1,000 Suns tactical squad with Asphyx rounds. Yeah.
Again, I just have one question. Why specifically 10 men? If it's 11, is it trash?
Yeah. 10 men. 11 men is crap. 9 men, even worse. 10 men, though. So 10 men. The reason why 10 men is the minimum cost, right? So what in my head, what you're looking for here is
that's what I was really looking for. I was curious because I knew there was logic behind these choices.
The breaching round 6-up bolters, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, well, what's a cheap scoring unit? 10 men is the cheapest version of the tactical squad, of course.
Yep.
And then bung a load of breaching bolters on them, and they're just a nice little unit. Just to you pummel a load of these shots into some Terminators. You might drop a Terminator, right? You've still got the regular versatility of the unit as well. Yes, you're paying for it a little bit more, but I think it's probably worth it with these guys. There are going to be some psychic shenanigan bits and bobs that you can do as well to make them better, I'm sure. But I just like the fact that they've got the breaching bolters, which makes them an interesting tactical squad choice.
I think I agree with you. I
rate them more really than the 20-man Death Guard squad? Well, no, because there's twice as many men.
Do you rate them more than do you rate them more than 19 of the Death Guard squad?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say it. My next choice is actually the 11-man 1,000 Suns tactical squad because it's slightly better than the 10-man. But then my first choice will be 12-man tactical squad. Yeah, anyway.
My god!
Maybe we're getting too specific. Maybe we should leave numbers of models out.
No problem. That was why I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you in the comments when we were doing the prep, and I was all nope. Oh no. Okay, cool. Moving on.
Number 3. All right.
So Despoiler squad with the introduction cadre prime benefit. Again, I agree with everything you said. I rate them a little higher than you do. I think any Legion. This is going to benefit any Legion. I think it's really, really good. Again, I think you could because they can pop up anywhere, they can throw just your opponent into disarray by kind of messing up their plans. A really, really good squad. I've taken them in almost every game. I need to stop taking them because I've taken them in every game since Pete took them against me. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And now I need to try to not take them so they're not a crutch. But I mean, that's why I know that I really like them. So yeah, I mean, we kind of discussed them a little bit before. I don't know if you have anything else to add, but really, really good squad.
No, they are. Yeah, they're super useful, aren't they? Super useful. There might be a way to look into, there's certain lists which will have prime units. I think Sons of Horus have a good detachment, which gives you 2 prime slots on your troops, I think. It'd be interesting to see if there's other ways of building multiple whack-a-mole units.
If you put 2 of them on there,
yeah, 2 or 3 would be quite for like 300 points for like 3 units or whatever. To just jump up mid-game is pretty awesome. But it does use up your reactions, so bear that in mind. Moving on. All right, so my number 2 is an Iron Warriors tactical squad, specifically of 10 men. Not a single man more. Quantity has a quality of his own, I guess. But yeah, you could have more. Nuncio Vox, because why not? And Shrapnel Bolters. So I was very much, and this comes from personal experience now, I was very much meh on the shrapnel weapons when they came out, because it's 3 points per gun, which is quite a lot. But you do gain pinning. But actually, it kind of weirdly stacks. So the fact that your squad causes pinning, and the fact that your squad is very much quite well defended against status effects because you're an Iron Warrior, is a really nice trade-off, right? So you barely budge, and you're making your opponent stop moving. Pinning, as I've played the game more and more, other than becoming routed from panic, pinning is, I would argue, the second most important status effect. It's the most important of the basic 3.
It's not as crazy as it was before, though. Like, I think
it's changed entirely, right? But like stopping people from moving in this game where it's, you know, about scoring objectives is super useful.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's really good. Really, really good. Yeah, you got 18-inch range, but we played. The last list that I played against you was shrapnel bolsters on everything, wasn't it? And it actually was pretty good. It came in pretty handy. So,
did you pick 10-man here because like it's too many points to have them on 20-man squads? Do you just take 10-man squads to spread them across the board? What makes you like them so much? Because you did say 10-man. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the 10 men in particular, because a 10-man tactical squad is so cheap and it can sit and score on an objective, right? That's pretty much it. So I would say these guys are useful for doing that. And you might want to move them up to the mid-table objective because of their shorter range bolters. But yeah, they're pretty handy. So what tends to happen, and I think it happened in our game, is you threw some despoilers towards some of these guys, and they were an objective. Yeah. You didn't quite make the charge distance or something along those lines. Then my next turn, I shot you, and I pinned your unit. I think that's what happened. So then again, they've got like another turn of scoring on that objective if they need to and things like that. So
were those the despoilers that lasted forever? They wouldn't die? There was like two of them left.
Yeah, literally
they were killed like the last turn.
They were great.
Those guys.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think the Iron Warriors... So basically what this with the Thousand Suns as well is the ammunition type options are quite interesting to see how much it actually changes the unit.
So do you rate... Well, we'll see. Maybe Sons of Horus are number one for you, but I think Sons of Horus and Alpha Legion can also take Bane Strike Bolters. So I don't know if they can on their tax squads, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
I think it's only elites. So
yeah, I think so. Moving on.
Cool.
You're number 2.
Tactical squad with Nuncio Vox. Wait, I get out of the number 2. So I think any Legion, for 110 points, any Legion, this is just a go-to. And you're going to see at least 2 to 3 of these, 2 to 4 for a normal detachment. I take bare minimum 2, and then maybe I'll take a Despoiler squad, maybe something else, or 3. I mean, you can use rhinos or not, but it's just Tac Squad Nuncio Vox is the GOAT this time around, right? This is what you go for. This is what you go to. The Nuncio Vox is required. It is really, really good, really, really cheap. I love the models. So yeah, I just can't. I had to throw a shout out. This is almost number 1, but I had a different number 1. So we'll see what that is in a second. But yeah, I mean, this is the best unit in the game. Yeah.
You almost, and just thinking back to my first few games of playing this, I had 4 10-man tactical squads and 2 10-man Despoiler squads. And I had the tactical squads buddying up. So they 2 squads would just go after an objective. Because, yeah, your opponent's going to kill one, right? You've still got another. And I think you can almost build your list around that. Like, so thinking, right, these 2 tat squads are going to commit to scoring that objective for the whole course of the game. And you're going to lose one of them, and you might lose both of them. But having the 2 squads, and with the way that the contesting objectives now works, with each guy being worth 2 or 3 points each on a contesting an objective compared to a regular, like you can still very easily have one of your tactical squads receive a charge by some Terminators. Yeah, they're going to die, but your neighbouring tactical squad who's within 3 inches of that objective is going to still score it anyway, right? And there's all sorts of things that can happen. But yeah, I think one of them is more than fine, but having them go around in pairs is quite strong. Yeah, moving on. All right, so hear me out. I have a soft spot for these guys. Mainly because I'm working on some Alpha Legion. So
I was excited about this conversation. Tell me why you love these guys so much.
Because you can't shoot at them. So for the first turn, they cannot be shot at. Now, okay, they've got line 1 compared to line 2.
Yeah.
But if you're going second, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to score the points in your deployment zone, right? Near enough guaranteed. If there's let's say you're going first and there's a mid-table objective or a couple of mid-table objectives, you could run these guys onto it, and distance permitting, maybe a rhino might be helpful here. You can position them in such a way that they can't be shot at. Well, they can't be shot at full stop. So the opponent needs to get you off the objective, or they want to score the objective. So they're going to have to try and assault you off the objective, right? But you can always just do your movement reactions to get back a bit and still be tagging the objective. And then also you're an Alpha Legion, so you're 2 inches further away anyway. So the charge is going to be hard anyway for someone to pull off. I just don't see these guys. I think they're just going to be really sneaky and a bit of a pain in the ass, and they're going to stop people from scoring objectives turn one, and they're also going to guarantee they score objectives turn one.
I don't quite feel this vehemently against them, but I'm going to take it because I think it's more entertaining. I think these guys are trash. They're not trash. No,
I'm very excited to play mine against you at some point.
What I think though is that regular attack squads, because they're line 2, are gonna be better than these. They're just gonna score more. Like maybe one of these squads I think is good. Like I don't think they're trash. I think one of them is fine. I think one of them is decent. But I don't know, man. Like it's that line 2, and the fact that like you can hide your attack squad and they can come out and score. And these guys basically only are invulnerable turn 1. The thing where you convince me is where you say you run out and grab an objective that's basically not in your backfield, and then you're safe, and then they can just jam out. But I almost wouldn't give them a rhino. I wouldn't waste points on them. They're just there. They're 90 points to like go. I wouldn't even give these guys a Nuncio Fox.
No,
like,
you need a Nuncio. Everyone needs a Nuncio. Their one job is to score. Yeah, I think they can.
Can they take it?
Yeah, in my list, I think I've got them as a.
Up to 2 may take. Okay, so they'd be 100 points. Yeah, I mean, I just like the regular squad so much more, and the Alpha Legion ones again are 2 inches. To charge them so that way, but the regular ones just score so much more. Yeah, I mean they're decent. They wouldn't pick them as number 1. I just thought it would be fun to call them trash. But they're not
only
trash.
Cool 7 as well. But they're not being shot at. So that's okay. Like they're like, that's
true. They're not being shot at turn 1. Oh yeah, because they don't even have a sergeant. Interesting. They're cool. They're neat. I don't know if I would take more than one squad though. Like if I were you, I'm waiting for Pete's entire army to.
I want 100 of these. These guys are great as 20 men.
Yeah, 100%.
So I want 100 of these guys marching up the board that can't be shot at, with a few saboteurs as well that can't do it yet. That's it.
I'm waiting, but none of you understand. I'm gonna have to fight this army.
But yeah. Anyway, you're number 1.
The Grey Slayer squad!
These guys.
So I absolutely love these guys. I think that they are so good. They're basically a Despoiler squad with shields. They are just really good. They're troops choice. I think they're the best Despoiler squad in the game. They can't unfortunately take the prime benefit. But I mean,
yeah.
They work great. Like those combat shields work really good. They have the Fenrisian axes with them, so they get reaping blow, and it's just they're really good squad.
They are awesome. They hang around as well, don't they?
Yeah, they're fairly tough. I think that they're the best Despoiler squad in the game. They are a great troops choice. 100% really worth it. I think Space Wolves have some of the best troops choices in the game, as you've seen, because 2 of them have been my top 5. So yeah, I just think Space Wolves just lucked out this time around in the random GW lottery and got really good troop choices. Plus they have all the other ones. So, you have all the attack squads and everything else to kind of pick from. Or you could take, a wall of these Grey Slayers moving forward. So there's just really, really good.
Yeah.
Space with Players, you lucked out. And yeah, I think that is me. I would love to hear your guys' top 5 in the comments, please.
Yeah, let us know
I'm
why we're
very
wrong.
curious.
Let us know why you also agree that the Alpha Legion ones are some of the best things you've ever seen. And
Trash.
Yeah, and the 20-man Death Guard squad filled with 100 independent characters. Yeah, that one. Let us know your thoughts. A bit of fun, bit of lighthearted fun, these ones, obviously. And I think the goal is maybe to finish off the auxiliary detachment one soon. Not the super heavy detachment, maybe. You'll see. Yes. Something rumbling down the road. Yes, and then into then into 4th edition. Yeah, anyway, right. That's it. See you next one.
Bye, everybody.